Wonder how long my steering wheel will take the beating. Kicking off the day, leaving, beautiful, beautiful sunrise. Leaving the fire station Wednesday morning. Going on a 4-day. One of the best things about this job is a beautiful, beautiful 4-day. Heading to the gym, gonna do legs. I got my new workout partner. Gonna hit the legs. Hate leg day, I love leg day. That serious love-hate relationship with legs. I hate leg day. I love punishing my legs. All that being said, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great 4-day. Heading to Vegas to hang out with one of my best friends on the planet, Rob Fisher. I'm looking forward to just the fellowship and hanging out with him. He's a beautiful soul, and his wife Jody. Me and Amanda are gonna go hang out with him, and also get to pick his brain, which is also one of my favorite things to do, which is pick his brain, because I'm I'm very, very focused on the Culture Forge, the class that I'm building for firemanship, and I really am excited to run the ideas past his brain and let them filter through his mind and see what he says, and get his feedback. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. My brain goes down rabbit holes as I talk about it, but not the point. I'm reading Stephen M. R. Covey's The Speed of Trust. Phenomenal book if you haven't read it. I've talked about it a few times in the last few days on the last few LFGs, because I did my morning reading this morning at the station, and he has these 13 behaviors, and I'm going to incorporate those into the Culture Forge, the 13 behaviors that build trust, and it's phenomenal. The book so far has been phenomenal. I don't know how strong it will finish, but even if it just I'm about 60% of the way through the book now, and it's great. But today he talked about talking about others if they're in the room, right? And I was like, man, can you imagine the fire service if all the firefighters decided they were going to always speak about the people that they're talking about as if they were in the room? And that's a powerful concept. There was one I read under, the book is called Powerful, I believe. And it's on Netflix Culture. And one of their rules at Netflix was to say, if someone was talking about someone else, and they would say, well, what did that person say when you told them? So if you're complaining about another person, one of the things you're allowed to ask them anytime is say, well, what did that person say when you told them this? And that calls, that's a way to call a person and say, is this gossip, or are you actually going to do something to rectify this situation? And it's a powerful, powerful concept. And I'm like, can you imagine if every firehouse kitchen table, you only spoke about people as if they were sitting at the kitchen table? Because we've all been there at some point or another, where when someone leaves the room and then the conversation turns and talks about them. And if a person will talk about someone when they're not in the room in a certain way, then they'll do the same to you when you're not in that room. And we've all been guilty of it. Do not get me wrong. I'm not sitting here saying it like I'm some sort of saint. I work on it, believe me. But we're all guilty of it. We're all human beings. We all love a juicy bit of gossip. But that's what I wanted to think about, was that behavior. I think it's the 6th behavior, which is show loyalty. And loyalty is talking about people as if they're in the room. And when you don't do it, it breaks down trust. And when you do it, it builds trust. And it's a great concept. And I wanted to share it this morning, because the drama that firefighters can create at the firehouse is unbelievable, man. We're like a knitting circle in the fact of what we can create and spin up, and the telephone game that's just naturally added to it, sometimes intentionally and sometimes just from existing. And it can absolutely add so much drama that is unnecessary in your organization. So that's what I was going live today to discuss. Of course, the book is always whatever book I'm currently reading is always driving my current thoughts. I love being able to articulate it and share it with you in these short little lives, because it allows my brain to process what I just read and think about, and it allows me to figure out how I feel about it and how I'm going to move forward and try to implement it. So that's it. That's all I had for the day. I'm going to try to get Scrap 250 posted. I got to get home, make the thumbnail, get it loaded up so it can be blasted out onto all the social media platforms so we can start hyping 250. Ike is coming on. You can count on a loud and long episode 250. You better get your energy drinks. You better get your snacks, get a little popcorn, because 250 is going to be pretty epic. I don't know what all Ike has. It's impossible to know what Ike has planned. You can try. You can have discussions about it. But day of, it's like I call him Hurricane Ike for a reason. I absolutely call him Hurricane Ike for a reason. But no matter what, it'll be an experience. I promise you that. So Scrap 250 coming up next week. I'm going to get the stuff posted, hopefully in the next few hours. Get the gym done, get that stuff posted, and then go enjoy this 4-day with the Fishers. If you're on the V50 journey, welcome to day 24. Tomorrow is the official middle of the V50. We'll be halfway done. Haven't missed doing one of these yet. That was my commitment. Do one of these every day of the V50. And so far, we're at 24 for 24. So that's part of it. For me, if you're making those commitments to yourself, saying, I'm going to do this for this 50-day commitment, man, I hope you're keeping those commitments. Because every time you make a promise to yourself and you keep that promise, you build a little bit of that trust in yourself. You build a little bit of that reliability in yourself. And when you have that, man, other people start building trust in you. Other people start counting on you and your reliability. And it's powerful, and it compounds exponentially. And it grows, man, and your influence will grow because of it. It is great. And if you want to make a change, man, tackle a V50. Tackle a V50. Most people on the first attempt, I would say, I don't know if I have enough data to actually say that, but a lot of people on the first attempt make it about 10 or 12 days, and then they fall off. But those 10 or 12 days give you a great insight into yourself. So if you're on the V50 challenge, if you're with me, we're on day 24. If you're doing it on your own, I don't know what day you're on, but I hope you're keeping those commitments to yourself. Every time you do, man, you're building a little bit of that competence, and you're building a little bit of that confidence. And before long, you won't even recognize the person you were. Be the person you want to be. Most of all, we only get to go on this ride once. Enjoy the journey. Godspeed.